Wow, that was a great show that Nolly and I just did. We broke down some great games. We hopefully gave you some good information and found some good numbers for you to get on, cash. And of course, if you want to watch the full show, all you got to do is click on the link below. All right, let's get rolling here. How about you get me started on my next game, Nolly?
All right, jumping right into it because we've got a lot of games going on here today. I believe that is going to be with James Madison versus Elon. James Madison versus Elon, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. We got James Madison, 10-5 on the season, 5-1 on the conference in the Colonial Athletic. Have been pretty much running away with it. Elon on the complete opposite side, 0-5 on the conference, over under 3-5. 3-5 ATS. But one thing we see with James Madison, they've been putting up quite a bit of points throughout the season. Elon, when you look at them, offensive ranked pretty much 330th in almost every category. But when you look at James Madison putting up over 80 points a game, just about 80 points a game, and not just that, covering the number quite a bit, 9-3 against the spread on the season. James Madison taking over the Colonial here, facing one of the bottom feeders. What do you think here? What do you think here, Max?
Yeah, listen, with James Madison, they have done fantastic with Mark Byington coming over from Georgia Southern. This is a great move for the program. And I think that with this game against Elon, they know what they're going up against. They know that they can outperform them. They know that they can lock them down defensively. And they also remember that Ikena Ndugba almost started a fight with somebody. I can't remember who was on the James Madison side. So I don't think that they're going to be trying to take it lightly. I think they're going to want to put it on these guys early, hard, and often. So I'm definitely looking at James Madison, Nolly, in this spot, and I'm looking at the under, so you can line shop for me for both of those in the meantime. But with James Madison, it's simple as this. You cannot afford a drop-off performance. You can handle these guys. You can do it with style and freaking sass. So listen, Ndugba, he got heated. It almost got physical. There could have been suspensions. Now it's time to push his buttons again, take the ball right at him, and let Matt Lewis do his work. Matt Lewis has been a revelation. He's playing his best basketball of the year. This basketball that he's playing right now is going to be the reason why he gets himself drafted. This is why coming back to school, developing to the most your potential will allow is so critical if you want to be a pro. And this guy's going to be a pro after playing this year. He's averaging 21 points per game. He's shooting 40% from the three-point line, 4.7 rebounds and 3.4 assists. He does it all. He's like Justin Turner. That's who I think he is. Listen, with the point guard play, this was the area of concern, but over the last 2 weeks, I've really had to come to the realization that I was wrong on this. Terrell Strickland, the point guard freshman for this JMU team, has been absolutely electric. 2 weeks of absolute fantastic play, 12 points, 4 assists, 1.3 steals. The guy's was able to limit Hunter McIntosh. Even though McIntosh was able to get 18 points, he still took awkward and difficult shots to get those points. So on any given day, you may get lucky and hit those, but on another one, you may get locked down. I think that Terrell Strickland is definitely going to play a critical role for James Madison in this game. If he can give you the same kind of production, the same kind of outstanding freshman performance that he's been able to, I think James Madison is going to be able to cover this number, and they're going to be able to do their normal defensive dominant work as well. Plain simply, balanced scoring is required. Zach Jacobs, Jalen Hodge, Justin Amidi, these are the guys that got to get involved in the offense. Look for your offense. Take advantage of a guy that's in Matt Lewis who's going to attract so many double teams. Why not get your shots? What JMU has been able to do in wins on the road and at home are limit teams to under 30 in first halves. With Elon, that's a team that would definitely abide and help you out with that. I think that forcing fouling situations is going to be important. You want to test Elon's You want to test Elon's maturity, you want to test their sense of control of their emotions, and you want to test their depth, because after Federico Poser, I don't know who else you really can depend on in the front court to give you any production. With James Madison, if they're going to win, they're going to keep their turnovers under 12. They're going to win the takeaway battle. They're going to force turnovers. They're going to go heavy in the first half. This is where they have their best advantage, in my opinion. They're a good starter, and they're not the kind of team that I've seen so far blow a ton of leads in the second half. In the first half, if they can get 38 to 40 points, I think they'll be up by a comfortable margin. I think they'll be able to maintain, if not expand it, throughout the second half. JMU is at their best when they're shooting volume free throws. Their free throw line efficiency is much higher than Elon. The amount of three-point shots that they're going to make on a game-to-game basis has to be close to 10. And when they dominate on the offensive glass with Michael Christmas and guys like Justin Amidi, I think that that's when JMU gets those extra possessions and makes the most of it. I think that when you look at the total, though, lots of these numbers for both these teams in this range have gone under. I think that with Elon, you are a little worried that the Hunters, Hunter McIntosh and Hunter Woods, are able to both contribute equally in the same game. But Elon may not get to 65, Nolly, in this game. And they only averaged 24 in the first half in conference. So they're not scoring the basketball early, and that's really stopping them from gaining any momentum going into the second half. I think that this is a JMU win wire to wire, and I think that this is a game where they may get to 75 or 80, but I don't know if Elon gets to 62 or 60. So lock in on the under the spread.
I think you make an interesting point in that, because there's a lot of totals earlier in the season where I would pick on some of these bad teams and I would take the under, but the one concern that I would say is that if that team decides to score too many on that bad team, and that's what would happen a lot of times. So would you consider at all maybe a team total under with Elon?
I think that if they were on the road and this was a road game, I'd be more interested in the team total under. But I do think that there is something to say for familiar rims, and I'm not sure what the fan situation is. I don't suspect that there's going to be fans, considering how many shutdowns they've had. I just can't be sure of that. But by my numbers, I do think that the under has value. I think that I would have posted the line more around 137.5 to 138.5.
Nice. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Okay. Well, as far as line shopping, the best number I was able to find for you would be James Madison -4, -110 at Circa right now.
That's beautiful.
Okay. And then as far as the total, I see pretty much the same thing across the board. 143.5 -110.
All right, that works for me.
All right. We'll lock that in for Max right away. 2 games, 8 plays. Beautiful.